At this time of the night, we report the latest decisions taken by the departmental government after the second Departmental Risk Management Council.
In the last hours, the departmental government declared public calamity due to the coming dry season on the island. The lack of drinking water is a constant issue in the archipelago during the dry season. Therefore, around 4 p.m., the Departmental Council of Risk and Disaster Management decided to declare a public calamity emergency as announced by the Secretary of Government, Kayan Howard.
The decision was taken to declare a public calamity due to the coming drought season. This is in order to join institutional efforts to meet the need for water to mitigate the shortage of drinking water that occurs in sectors that are not connected to the aqueduct network.
The Secretary of Government is emphatic that what is sought with this declaration is to have clear actions and thus avoid water shortages in the island households.
The main action is to mitigate the shortage. We know that blockades are what people turn to when they do not have access to the precious liquid. The idea is not to allow people to resort to these routes, but to reach out to them with solution before this shortage occurs.
2021 became one of the years with the highest rates of homicide cases in the archipelago, a situation that raised flags among authorities regarding this crime. The Attorney General's office delivered a report on the cases handled during the past year.
35 cases of homicides occurred during 2021 in the archipelago, making it one of the most violent years for the islands. Cases such as the death of the 2 patrolmen of the National Police in the sector of New Guinea and of Maria Mercedes Gecko are part of the figures provided by the Attorney General's office on the criminal modalities dealt with during the past year.
In the archipelago, there were 35 homicides, 27 of which were solved, reaching a percentage of 77.14%. For these criminal dynamics, 28 arrests were made. Likewise, 5 common organized crime groups were affected, with 28 arrests, 31 indictments, 3 of them in prison, 27 with security measures at the time of the hearings. 4 of these criminal structures are dedicated to drug trafficking and 1 of them to the crime of aggravated extortion.
Cases of sexual abuse of minors as well as domestic violence also showed a high rate during 2021. The prosecutor, Tatiana Angulo, said that investigations are still advancing in the clarification of some cases in which they seek to achieve justice, truth, and reparation for victims. Intolerance and violence within homes are phenomena that concern the authorities of the islands.
Resources close to 23 billion pesos are the ones committed by the projects financed by the General Royalty System and signed agreements. This was announced by the National Federation of Departments through its social networks.
The meeting led by the National Federation of Departments with the 32 governors' offices, the National Planning Department, and the Presidential Council for the regions in the technical table of the report of the territorial pacts and the projects financed with resources from the General Royalties System was apparently successfully developed. During the meeting, national government agencies emphasized that they will work tirelessly to advance together with the departments in the review of the General Royalties System and the signed agreements, which commit resources close to 23 billion pesos. Likewise, the Counselor for the Regions affirms the commitment to advance in this titanic task and not to rest until obtaining the successful completion of the projects and plans that have been formulated to bring progress to the regions. This news agency will be aware of the governor's statements in which he specifies which projects will benefit the island population.
And at this time, we bring you the testimony of a man affected by Hurricane Iota who still awaits for a roof over his head a year after the catastrophe.
1 year and 3 months after the passage of Hurricane Iota, there are still families on the island of San Andres who have not received the aid that was announced to them after being affected by this natural phenomenon. Jainer Zúñiga, with his few resources, has tried to repair his roof in order to be able to make ends meet this year, but his income has not been enough to completely repair the damage left by the Iota to his home, as he told Teleislas News.
Thanks to God and my work, Little by little, I have been fixing the roof. As you can see, I have fixed it, but it is not enough because the material is quite expensive and the minimum wage is not enough.
The affected person is questioning the delay in the repair of the affected houses.
Siento que el gobierno ha tenido una demora bastante.
I feel that the government has had a very long delay because it has been a year and more. I do not understand why it has taken so long to deliver the supplies or materials that were going to make a donation that we San Andreans need.
At the same time, Zúñiga said that he has not received any information from the government indicating the delay in the repair of their homes.
Pues hasta el sol de hoy.
To this day, they haven't come back. They haven't even said that this happened or for that reason, nothing. They haven't given any answer, a reason or a motive for us to suddenly feel sure that we can wait. If another hurricane had passed again, what? My house would have been devastated.
His fear of completely losing his house is worrisome, as his roof is not well secured and still has damaged wood.
Poquito a poquito he podido avanzar, pero
Little by little, I have been able to move forward, but I am afraid of a strong breeze, of the rain, because the roof is not safe. I still have leaks in the house, and when there are strong winds, you feel that the sheets move a little.
Finally, Heiner Zúñiga asked the government when will they give solution to what was promised.
And Teleislas News seeks to find answers to the community's complaints about the delays of the houses affected by Hurricane Iota. Therefore, the Secretary of Infrastructure, Bill Bryan, responds to our cameras what actions have been taken to advance with the reconstruction on the island of San Andres.
Para darle un parte de tranquilidad a nuestra comunidad.
To give a peace of mind to our community, the departmental government, headed by Dr. Everett Harkins Shogreen, hired an operator, a contractor which must respond to the archipelago for the progress of the reconstruction of the archipelago. We are in an administrative procedures, which is a bit delayed, but no later than next week, the operator will enter into operation and must expedite as soon as possible all the work necessary for the reactivation of the reconstruction of the houses of San Andres.
Many thanks to the Secretary of Infrastructure in charge, Bill Bryan, and we hope that those affected by Hurricane Iota can get their roof as soon as possible and that the new contractor will fully comply with the reconstruction. In our local news today at the Chamber of Commerce, a socialization of a program that benefits women entrepreneurs of our island was held. This news team attended to learn the details of this project.
In the afternoon, women from the department met to learn details of Aldea Fondo Mujer Emprende, which is a program of Impulsa Colombia and Fondo Mujer, which seeks to strengthen innovative companies and enterprises led by women to reach their maximum growth potential, overcoming the obstacles and barriers of the market.
The Fondo Mujer Emprende is an Impulsa initiative that focuses on entrepreneurship issues, and in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, we are socializing this call today. It is a call focused on women entrepreneurs, and the idea is to at least get to feel part of the openings of this call, which are 100 openings nationwide, and which has several particularities, and is that an application is made first of the business idea, and depending on the training, people will have access to some vouchers.
In this regard, we spoke with a woman entrepreneur who shared her perspective of this meeting.
I think the SPS is perfect because it visibilizes the woman them just as myself that just keep pushing, and we have a business idea. We feel like it's a great business idea, but maybe we don't have the resources them. Economically, we don't have all that we would like to have. So these PSCs just give us a push, a great push and an advance. And if them come true and if them is real, it's just wonderful for us.
We took advantage of the space to know perspective of women entrepreneurs or how they see the situation of their guild in the islands today.
I cannot speak for everyone. I can speak for myself and for the ladies that come around and friends of mine and explain to me about their own situation. And we need help, yes. we're serious about the business idea that we have, and we decide, say, is only progress or progress. That is the only option that we have. So of course we're going to keep fighting with whatever we have, and if the government or any entity bringing in any help, of course we're willing, able, and happy to get it.
Finally, the business director of the Chamber of Commerce mentions that one of the most critical points for entrepreneurs on the island is financing, hence the importance of spaces that bring these projects to the public agenda of the business sector on the island.
And in our department, there are 3 digital spaces known as Puntos Vives Digital that allow community access to technological equipment and connectivity.
These centers guarantee the use and appropriation of the information and communication technologies to the people of the island and are located in 3 points of the archipelago.
The idea with the digital point them is that the community know that we have 3 of them available. We have one here in the town beside the Teleislas. We have one on the hill beside the installations of Teleislas, and we have one here beside the biblioteca. They are points where the people can go and access to all the capacity that we have, where we have computer, we have them with internet, we have all of them, and we have personnel that can help the people them in case they need any help. For example, the one on the hill, normally they attend a lot people or students doing that close to that center. We have the different schools them, like Bruxelles and Bolivariana and them, so when the students have, let's say, homework and so, they can pass by there and we have the people them to attend.
The Secretary of ICT invites the community to make use of these free spaces for the appropriation of technological tools.
With good sanitary practices by merchants and hoteliers, and with long, medium, and short-term actions, the government hopes to solve the sewage overflow issue in the downtown area.
The Secretary of Public Utilities and Environment, Asville Bryan, informed that the departmental government carries out work tables in order to solve this problem of sewage overflow.
Es importante informar a la comunidad del archipiélago que la Secretaría de Servicios Públicos.
The departmental government, through the Secretariat of Health, issued Circular Number 003 of 2021 on September 10th, which makes recommendations for compliance with good sanitary practices for establishments of high and low risk sanitary interest, in which instructions and parameters are stipulated with respect to grease traps.
At the same time, the government asked merchants and hoteliers to carry out good sanitary practices in order to mitigate this situation, which, according to some investigations, is due to the misuse of the grease trap.
La invitación es a la comunidad, digamos.
The invitation is to the community. Let's say that it is to have a little patience with these issues, which the government step by step is taking improvement actions to quickly attack these problems.
To attack this problem that affects the downtown area of the island, the portfolio of Public Utilities and Environment is projecting long and short-term actions.
The following is an overview of the COVID-19 situation in the department.
Today's report issued by the National Health Institute records 1 case of COVID-19 on the island. This adds up to 10,100 infections since the beginning of the pandemic. According to data from the local health secretariat, 4 active cases, 9,912 recovered, 154 people have died from COVID, and ICU occupancy is at 0%.
At this time, we continue with news from the municipality of Providence and Santa Catalina.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from Old Providence and Catalina. In the morning hours, a second engine of the 3 that were stolen from the Fishermen's Associations was recovered.
During the morning hours in the Maracaibo neighborhood, the second of 3 engines stolen in recent months from fishermen in Old Providence was found. The good news was brought by children who found the engine hidden in the bush.
We find it just true, so boy where did they catch one and glimpse the engine, and the boy refer it to me, so I can go look. Because I hear the boy refer said they find an engine in the bush, so I can go look and I find it dash in the bush.
Although cheerful, the fisherman also confessed being sad.
I feel right now good because I find the engine, but sad because Providence again what we now say you can't sleep off with your thing them, you can't like first time. In a 33 years, this is the first time I hear them the thief engine Providence and they do them kind of rottenness and that nothing goes so.
For his part, the president of the iFish Association, owner of the 2 recovered engines, asked for these actions not to be attempted again.
If they try it again, we're going to all the capacity from iFish and use all the capacity from the Risal Guard feed and get a warning. We invite them to respect the things them from the community. We just don't come out of this disaster from a hurricane, and it's not acceptable them here kind of things.
The still missing engine was the first one stolen and belongs to the Bottom House Association as Opesbot.
And in recent days, the Contentious Administrative Tribunal denied an appeal requested by the Navy against the order to withdraw its camp from the Bowden Basin.
A new chapter was developed concerning the Maritime Traffic Control Station with the denial of the appeal filed by the Navy against the urgent precautionary measure. This measure suspended the construction of the station, and this new denial confirms that decision. The leader of the Camp for Dignity said that the law is on their side.
They present the appeal and the tribunal ratified the position. So they can appeal now to the court, the state court, that is nationally, and we believe they're going to lose it there too. We invite the people from the Navy to stop violate the human rights and the environmental rights from the Risal people.
The fisherman invited the Navy to withdraw completely from the property.
Insistimos que los altos mandos de la Armada no sigan confundiendo lo que es el honor militar con el irrespeto de los derechos étnicos y territoriales del pueblo raizal. We're trying to do everything pacifically, but them trying to wear out the fisherman them and disobey the one Colombian law, and we're not going to accept it no more. So we're going to get in our process, we're going to call a meeting to the Federation and take a decision, because this extending too much and keeping affecting the natural resource that we have in the area.
The leader of the camp ended by warning that the fishermen would occupy the land if the Navy does not move out. At the close of this broadcast, it was not possible to obtain the Navy's reaction to the court's decision or if they would continue with this process.
And this is all the information we have for tonight for this section of Old Providence and Ketlina. You guys can continue in San Andres with more Teleislas News. Good night.
Thank you, Millie. And now it's time for sports with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. An afternoon to remember was the one that was held at Velodia Road in tribute to a great living legend of horse racing. He was Denny Hooker. Definitely an impact in our cultural tradition is horse racing. The horse races that take place in Velodia Road are of the great pleasure for the fans, where people gather to spend a great time to the sound and gallop of the race horses. In an afternoon that paid tribute to the great living legend, the greatest of all time, Denny Hooker, a man who undoubtedly have left a legacy engraved in this island culture as one of the best horse trainers in the history of thoroughbred horses. He is Denny Hooker, the great master who spoke in more details to this news agency.
I feel very proud of my people and backing me up with this homage from Gobernación that prepare and organize this especially for me.
It was a great afternoon of races animated by Dr. Fidel Suarez Corpus, which was made possible thanks to the departmental government with the collaboration of the Secretaries of Sport and Culture. And on another side, a grand final of the Court of Maracana, starred by 2 teams, Divinos and Papurris, in the intercompany tournament. It was a joyful and fun afternoon for the 2 teams that came to dispute this final for the 2nd time consecutive. It was a very tight game where the two teams fought and gave everything on the pitch, where at the end of the game, a ball received by Victor Rojas will unleash a low right shot to break the net of the Papurris team and so shoot a joy of goal that gave the victory to the Divinos. Divinos was crowned champion of the Intercompany tournament at the Maracanã. We spoke with the scorer of the goal and player of the match, Victor Rojas.
Las finales siempre son duras.
Finals are always hard, as we had faced that team in 2 previous finals. But praise God that today it was given to me and I was able to score, and with that goal we won the championship. We always want to offer a new spectacle. We always want to come and enjoy soccer with our family, which is what we love so much and fills us with enthusiasm and joy. I love to play. I don't come here much to play, but every time I come here, I like the family atmosphere that we have here. We also want to thank the other team, a very good team that has been in 3 finals in a row. We hope that God gives them a championship because they also deserve it. Always inviting young people to study and live in coexistence by using soccer for that end. Soccer is very nice and there are many opportunities out there. Every child, every parent should always instill in their children to succeed by means of soccer.
These two teams played a great final, leaving players, organizers, and fans very happy. And this will be all in sports for tonight. We will see you on another broadcast. We continue with Lisa.